there was a time where I think somebody was having like a Halloween party. And obviously I knew that, yeah, we don't do Halloween in our house, but everybody was going, everybody was invited. And I was like the new girl. So I was kind of settling in. And, all the boys were going to be there. This is before Christ. All the boys were going to be there. So I was like, yeah, I'm trying to go to this party, Halloween. Da, da, da. It just went over my head that it was Halloween. I said, listen, I'm just trying to be at the party because everybody else is there. But thanks be to God for parents. They said no. But had it not been for my parents, only the Lord knows what would have happened in terms of the course my life would have taken had I
Mm,
gone to that party. Because as I mentioned before, the effects of peer pressure, though you take the decision there and then, the effects slowly unravel in your life bit by bit. And so if it's a negative thing, you slowly see the unraveling of that negative decision in your life. And then as you get older, it becomes bigger and bigger. But equally, if it's a positive peer pressure, you see unraveling slowly in your life that you're starting to make positive habits, changing your lifestyle, and you're seeing that you're starting to become a more successful person because of that decision you took in the moment to be influenced by positive peer pressure. And so with that whole Halloween party thing, I never went because my parents said no. But like I said, had they not have prohibited me from going, I would have allowed that pressure of everybody's going to the party, all the boys are going to be there, all the girls are going to be there, we're going to dance all night, da, 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 da. I don't think I'd be the person who I am today. And so I really want young people to understand that the decision you're taking now may impact the person that you could have been had you understood who you are in Christ first and foremost before taking that decision. Sometimes, yes, negative peer pressure can be a lot, but you've got to think of the wider picture. It's not just about the now, it's about the future. It's
mm,
about the person God has called you to be and is calling you to be. And so if you take that decision now just to be cool amongst your friends who in 20, 30 years time, you probably won't even message them again, then did you do yourself a disservice in the moment? So that's an example for my own life. But I know nowadays for young people, and even for older people, I'll get onto them later, but examples of a negative peer pressure at the moment, I think there's this weird kind of obsession for people to be in relationships at a young age and engage in sexual activities whilst in those relationships. Because I think sometimes, as the church, we don't necessarily address sex head on in terms of saying that this is within the context of marriage. We do say it, but it's like in the corners. Um, and I think because of that, and also the young people being influenced by their friends, they'll get into relationships. And because, they know that, okay, to keep a man, you have to give him head, oral sex. Sorry, I'm being very raw because listen, if we don't tell them how it should be, then the world will teach them the wrong way. So that's why I'm being very, very straight to the point, because if we as the people of Christ don't correct the things that the world is teaching the young people, we can't complain when they're going the wrong way. So when young people are in their classes and they have relationships and they're like, oh yeah, give your boyfriend oral sex and let him do this and let him do that, let him do this, da, da, da. They think it's normal because everybody's doing it. Oh, that's how you keep a man. Da, 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 da. No, that's not how you keep a man. That's not what you should be doing in the first place. And so that negative peer pressure is forcing a lot of young people to engage in activities and sexual conduct that should only be for the context and container of marriage. And just because everybody's doing it and it's not that deep, like I said, the decisions that you're taking now, you will not see the effect of it until 10 years, 20 years down the line. And you have to think of your future. You have to think of where God is taking you to. When the Bible calls us to be holy and pure, it's not because God is trying to be mean or trying to be difficult, but God created us. Sometimes we forget that He created us. He knows what is best for us. His plans for us are to prosper us. They are for good and not for evil. And so when God is saying, be holy, live right, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, but then your peers are saying, oh, just have sex. Oh, just give him head. Oh, just do this and do that. God is the one that knows your future. Your peers don't. And so if you're going to follow the one that doesn't know your future, you're doing yourself a disservice. Follow the one that knows your future and has your future in his hands. And if there are rules you have to abide by to get to the future God has for you, it is worth the price of being the only one. Because at the end of the day, God's will is better than our will, better than the will we could ever think for ourselves. So I just thought to share that addition because I just really want young people to see that. Be careful with the decisions you're taking today, because I know of so many people from secondary school who were popular for doing certain things, X, Y, Z. But when I look at where their life is now, I feel sad because I'm like, you had so much potential. You had so much potential, and I just feel sad that you allowed the pressures of people and things to force you to be a certain person or follow a certain image of a bad girl or a bad guy. And now you're just kind of, just scraping around, trying to just get by little. But you really had the potential to be somebody great. But like I said, the decision you took in that moment and continues to take each time an opportunity presented itself, it has led you to where you are now. So I just want young people to be careful, and also everybody to be careful when it comes to negative peer pressure.